Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to show you how I budget for a holiday. Now, there are different holidays. There's like day trips or a weekend getaway, a staycation, or 2 weeks abroad somewhere. So it does sort of differ how you go about budgeting it, because obviously if you're going abroad you need different things like possibly a visa, your passport, airline tickets, whereas if you're having a staycation then you might just only need maybe train fare, or maybe you're going to rent a car, or you're going to have your own car but you need petrol. So it does depend on which holiday you're going to have. But basically, no matter what, you need to get there, you need accommodation, you need food, you need possibly some money for entry fees, depending on your holiday. So basically, these are the basic things that you need for when you're planning a budget. So I have put travel. So for travel, I mean, am I going by plane? So my airline ticket. Am I going by train? So I need my train ticket. Am I personally driving my car? I'll need petrol. So I add up how much it's going to cost for the plane, the train, the car, bus fare, whatever it is, however you're going to travel, you add up the fee and put it under your budget. So, for example, I went to New Zealand a few years ago, so I had to budget for the airline ticket. I rented a car while I was over there, so I had to have a fee for the rental car, and then I had to get petrol every time I emptied the tank. So that was about 3 different travels that I had to budget for. So I did it as one thing. So you budget for that. Then you have to have your accommodation. So are you staying at a hotel, a B&B, an Airbnb? Are you renting a house for the holiday? Are you going to like a log cabin somewhere? Wherever you're staying, you need to make sure that you have enough money to stay there. If you're like traveling, you might have different hotels with different prices. So you need to check that when you're booking your holiday. Again, with the New Zealand example, we did the North and South Island. On the South Island, we stayed at hotels because we were going all over. But on the North Island, I tended to focus on one area and then sort of like drove the other places for the sightseeing that wasn't too far away from this like one area. And so we decided to rent a house. So you need to take into consideration all the fees that come with that and make sure you budget it. So add it up. So if you're going for 3 days or 3 nights, make sure you have 3 nights worth of your accommodation. If you're staying for a fortnight, wherever you're going, make sure that you've planned a fortnight stay. Then obviously you're going to have to eat at least 3 meals. I'm sure you might have snacks as well, but you want to have breakfast, lunch and dinner. And then possibly drinking as well. Like you might want to go and have like the holiday drink. So you need to make sure that you have enough money to eat 3 meals a day and maybe have a cheeky G&T or something like that. So again, you'd put it under your budget about how much you think you're going to spend on food. Now this is a bit tricky if you don't know where you're going to eat every day. So you need to sort of say, well, I don't want to spend more than like £50 worth of food every day. So then you'd make sure if you're going for like 3 days that you have £150 put aside for food. Maybe a bit extra because you want to go drinking one night, whatever it is. Then I have souvenirs or gifts. Sometimes when you're like going places, you want to go shopping. So you need to figure out sort of how much roughly you'd want to spend on souvenirs or gifts. Obviously, again, sometimes you just see something and you go, oh my God, I want that. And it might not be in your budget. So you have to really think how much realistically do you think you'd spend on gifts? Do you have enough room in your luggage to bring it back home? That sort of thing. Again, tickets or entry for places. Where are you going? Are you going to compare zoos or something? Are you going to a play? Are you visiting Stonehenge? I don't know. I don't know what you want to do on your holiday. But if you're going somewhere like that you need an entry fee to get in, you need to make sure that you take that into consideration when budgeting. Then I have extra. I always make sure that I have at least £100 extra on me just to be safe, because you don't know exactly how much things are going to cost while you're on holiday. I've put passport just in case you are going abroad. You need to make sure your passport is valid. If it isn't and you need to get a new one, you need to make sure that you budget that in. Some countries you need a visa, a visiting visa. So again, that could be an expense that could go under passport as well. You need to take these things into consideration. Then I've put clothing. You may want to get a whole new like holiday wardrobe. If you're going somewhere like Iceland, maybe it's really cold when you're going because you want to go and see the Northern Lights, and you're going in like November time, so you've got to make sure that you have really like thermal clothing. Or you're going to Australia when it's their summer, so you need to make sure that you've got, I don't know, hats and dresses and sandals, whatever, the whole thing. You need to make sure that you take that into consideration as well. So you might need to dress more appropriately for the country that you're visiting as well. Certain places you have to have a head covering. So make sure you check that before you go anywhere and put that into your budget. And then I've put miscellaneous, just because there's probably something that you've forgotten, you're not sure, and I would just make sure that you have maybe £50 for miscellaneous, just so you're covered. And then so then you'd add it all up to give you the grand total, and then you figure out how long it's going to take you to save. For instance, you might want to have a holiday once a year. So every year, you're going to start budgeting. As soon as you get back off your previous holiday, you're going to start budgeting. You're going to work it out where you're going. And then you're going to say, right, I have 12 months to get this fee. So what you do is you add up all your total, and then you divide it by how long you're going to give yourself, so you know how much to save each month for when you're doing your monthly budget. So if you were to say, right, I'm going to go on an annual holiday, you add up your total and you divide it by 12, and then whatever total you get from that fee is what you're going to put in to your monthly budget. And then, so you get your monthly budget, and I put my holiday into sinking funds. So then you would put, I need to save X amount every month for my holiday, upcoming holiday. And that's all you have to do to plan and budget your holiday expenses. So I hope that was helpful, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye guys.